Hey, it's Justin Pontier here on the Mixed Morning Grind. Special guest joining me this morning, the program director of the Fort Lanes YBC. It is Carol Kaehn. Carol, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks. How are you?
I'm doing great. How's your summer been so far?
Pretty good, actually. It's nice to be busy again and have things to do and be able to go out and that kind of stuff.
No kidding. And lots of stuff to look forward to, right?
Yeah. Hopefully things are getting back to normal now. We'll be able to do everything the way we used to.
Did you get on any vacation this summer?
Yeah, I went camping a couple weeks ago. Yeah, It was pretty good. It was during one of the hot weeks, so it was pretty warm, but that's what the lake's for, I suppose, right?
Well, that's true. It's automatic air conditioning. You just dive in, right?
Yeah, I don't normally go in Alberta lakes, but it was hot enough. I was in there.
For sure. All right. So Carol, let's talk a little bit about, I'm kind of curious on your connection with bowling right off the start. Were you always passionate about bowling? Did you do it yourself growing up? How did you get that love for the sport?
I started at, which a lot of people do start as a kid. I started when I think I was 4. And yeah, so I've been bowling my whole life. And I went up through the YBC program, finished that, and then started joining adult leagues. And then decided to go into coaching. And then when the bowling alley opened out here in Fort Saskatchewan, because I was local, I made contact with them and they offered me a job and to come and start setting up a YBC program out here. So
nice. So you made kind of a career out of it.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've always enjoyed it.
So I'm kind of curious, Carol, do you see, when you're competitive bowling, do you still compete competitively?
Yes. Yeah. There's a whole world out there. I don't think people even realize that there is.
That's kind of what I'm wondering about is what's that competitive bowling world like?
Well, there are many people that are much more competitive than I am, but it's up to you as well. There's your YBC competitive, which is just bowling against other bowling centers. We have a league where it's the older kids that travel once a month to each bowling alley and they collect points. It's like a field system. At the end, there's prize money. But once you get into the adults, well, even in the kids ones, there's provincial and national tournaments. And there's many kids in the Edmonton area that have been to nationals multiple times. And they go to places like Newfoundland and all that, and like PEI and Ontario and Quebec. And right here, we host them here too.
Yeah.
We always hope to get to the nationals when it's far away.
That's right. Well, you get to experience a little bit more, right?
Yeah. But once you get into the adult ones, then there's some really big cash tournaments too. And Sherwood Park Bowling actually has quite a few that they host, and it's big money. And these are bowlers that are quite good. So you can actually look them up online, those tournaments and stuff. And it's pretty amazing.
So it's kind of like one of those things, like you ask people if they've ever seen a hole in one. Have you ever seen a perfect game? Have you ever bowled a perfect game?
Oh, no, I've never bowled a perfect game. No, I'm not that lucky. There are people who've bowled more than one, but I haven't been present for one either, because just out of luck, I guess maybe I would just hang around those people enough.
Sure, yeah.
But I haven't seen one, but I've seen people videotape them and put them online. So I've seen that. But yeah, I've never actually witnessed one myself, which is unfortunate. That would be pretty cool.
Well, I just think to myself, like the amount of pressure that must be on you on that last
bowl, yeah.
Right? The last time you grabbed that ball thinking that this could be it. Oh man.
Well, you're literally shaking. Like your hands are like shaking and you're just like sweating and you're like, oh my God. Because I've not been to a perfect game, but I've gotten to a point where it's really mattered. And it's pretty tense.
Well, and there's something, I guess, about being in an individual sport. Is there something that you like about that? The pressure of it, the kind of the weight all on your shoulders. Is that kind of an attractive thing for you, Carol?
Yeah, that's kind of the nice thing about bowling is you kind of get a little bit of both. Whereas primarily it's individual, you have your own average, you're consistently trying to beat that average. A lot of awards you get are individual, but you have that team aspect as well, where you're bowling with your team every week. You guys are, it's a social game in that respect as well. And you also get prizes, like go as teams, you get to go to these provincials and nationals. I mean, you go as individuals as well. So you kind of get to do both. So it just depends on your preference. But yeah, I've always appreciated, I was never big on team sports as a kid. I tried soccer, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I think I liked that about bowling actually, was that I was able to, carry a lot of that weight myself and not, I don't know, just the way I was, I guess.
For sure. And I guess kids nowadays are able to still do it with the YBC program. Let's talk a little bit about that and its involvement here in Fort Saskatchewan. What is the YBC program for those who don't know?
Well, we operate out of Fort Lanes, and so we've been operating since 2014. So this will actually be our 8th season that we're going into. And I actually still meet people who don't even realize we have a bowling alley.
Well, they'll know now.
Yeah. This year we split into 2 programs. So because we only have 8 lanes, we want to be able to have more kids, because the first few seasons we were maxing out our limit for capacity. So we decided to split it up last season, and have the younger kids from 3 to 10 on Saturday mornings. Keep them Saturday mornings, just traditionally when YBC bowls. About 9:30, 9:45 start, depending on how many kids we end up getting. And then the older kids from 11 to 19, and that's a key thing, is that kids can bowl until they're 19 as of December 31st. All our age groups the cutoff is December 31st. So they can bowl until they're 19. So from 11 to 19, they actually bowl Tuesday nights. And so it's like 6:30, 6:45 is just the time start. And the kids either bowl 2 or 3 games. The little guys bowl 2, the older kids bowl 3.
As far as sports go, bowling, very affordable.
Yes. Yeah, it's one of the less expensive sports out there. And you don't need equipment. You don't need to, it's a very inexpensive registration fee. Ours is only $45. And
that's it.
Yeah, that's it. And then it's $5 per game for the younger kids on the Saturday morning. That includes shoe rental. And it's $6 a game, which works out for the older kids at $18 a week, including shoes. And that's because they get prize money. So the older kids on Tuesday actually play for prize money. They actually are in more of a competitive format. It's called match play, where you're actually matched up each week. You're matched up head to head with someone on the other lane, and you actually play to win. So then you get a point if you win. And at the end of the season, like, they hand out prizes for most points, that kind of stuff. So
you do welcome all skill sets to this.
Yes.
You could be new, you could be experienced. Everybody's kind of welcome there.
Everybody's welcome there. It doesn't matter your skill level, your age. You could have never bowled before in your life and walk in there at 17 years old, and we'll teach you. And we have accommodations too. We've had a child that was in a wheelchair, and so she was able to come up, and we have the little bowling ramp she was able to use, and that kind of stuff. So we are very accommodating to all, like you said, all skill sets. And
now, something that's interesting is the milestone system within YBC. I thought that was incredibly cool. Can you show us kind of what goes on with that?
Sure. So I don't have it with me, but we actually have a chart we post on the wall, and you get little stars beside every score milestone that you reach. And I don't know, some people probably have seen it in the bowling alley when they've come in. It's just on the front bulletin board. And we actually have these little tags that those correspond to that we hand out at the end of the season. These little plastic tags, they're called swag tags. So you get this nice little lanyard, it says Youth Bowl Canada. And you get all these little tags here that has just 200, and it's for individual games or for total for the day, like your 3-game total or 2-game total. Perfect attendance, most improved bowler. And the cutest ones that I like to show off are these little dinosaur shaped ones for the little guys.
Those are awesome.
Those are for the 3 to 5-year-olds. Get these guys. They're called Bolosauruses, their age division. So they get these little dinosaur-shaped tags.
That's awesome. That's just like a nice added bonus. Like when you used to go swimming and you get the little patches, right? It's something to remember your time.
Yeah. So they can collect those. Back in the olden days when I was a kid, it was the little patches, like little badges that you would put on a piece of cloth or a flag or something, and some sort of banner. Right. But yeah, now we've moved into these. And sorry. No,
sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, with the registration, they also get, because that registration fee, part of the money goes to the national program to, of course, facilitate national things, pay for these tags, that kind of stuff. And some goes to the provincial program, same thing, to put on provincial tournaments, and then the provincial prizes they might do. And then they also get this membership card for Youth Bowl Canada. And it folds up into a nice little scorecard. And it actually has a number, so they actually are registered with the national program. It's actually a little number here that they have with the national program. And it has free games on it as well, and a coupon for bringing a buddy for a free game. And you get 1 free game a month at a YBC center. So yeah, so it's a actual like registered program. So yeah.
Well, that's awesome. So is there a certain, I know you say that everybody's welcome, obviously they are with YBC, but is there a certain skill set, a certain personality type that you found is really meshes well with bowling? Maybe someone who hasn't thought of bowling, but has this certain kind of personality, this certain kind of skill set that maybe this is something that they should try?
Yeah, I think like what you touched on earlier about more of an individual type person, because there is a team aspect, but there are a lot of kids out there, I think, who aren't interested in hockey, baseball, football. They're just not interested in those types of team sports. And this one is a good one because you have that team aspect, but yeah, it is a lot individual as well. And it's not, it's tougher than it looks, but it's probably not as hard as soccer, football, you know?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if that answers your question.
That does. That absolutely does. So let's talk a little bit about registration now, Carol, for kids who are interested in getting involved. There is availability to get registered very soon.
Yes, officially our registration day starts on Sunday, but we've already put the link to the registration form on the fortlanes.com website, so people can look for it there. And we also have an email address we can be reached at. It's just fortlanesybc@outlook.com. It's all lowercase. And just reach out to us. We can send you a registration form, the link to the registration form. This is the first year we're doing it through Google Forms, so we're going to send out the links that way, see how that goes. And and there is no deadline for registration. Basically, as long as we have space, we'll take people. So, but obviously the sooner the better, so we can formulate our teams and send the lane draw to the lanes so they can get the league all set up prior to the first day. So we'd like to have the names sooner than later. But if you choose to start later in the season, that's fine too. There's no deadline.
Well, and I'd imagine too, from your perspective, Carol, being one of the organizers of this, coming back post-pandemic, this has got to be a great feeling to see the kids back rolling again.
Yeah, it was a little tough last year. It was the first year we decided to split the program, and we ended up with, and you've probably heard, John, the owner, Fort Lanes itself got hit by lightning last summer. And so he was really hoping to get things done by September, maybe October, but just the insurance doesn't move very fast. And then there was trying to get parts, things like that. So he wasn't able to open up in time for us. So thankfully we were able to bowl at another bowling center. Bonnie Doon Lanes actually hosted us. So thank you very much to them for allowing us to bowl out of their center for that time. And we only bowled about 7 weeks, I think it was. And then at the end of November, we got shut down again, of course, and never came back. So it was really tough last year. We had moved our kids and then never even got a full season. And so we're really looking forward to this year because John's up, ready to go. I believe he's planning on being open on Sunday, the 1st. I haven't talked to him in the last couple of days just to make sure it's all on track. But yeah, so then he's going to have a big grand opening later in the season, but or later in August, I mean. But so crossing our fingers, that means we're going to have a perfectly normal season. So just waiting to see on restrictions now, if there's going to be anything to do with number of kids we can put on the lane, or if there's masks. We didn't have to do masks while they were bowling before because it's an exercise activity. But yeah, so we're still waiting to see the final status on that come September. But yeah, we're anxious to get those kids back into a full season and be able to do tournaments again, because that was a big thing. We couldn't do any of the tournaments last year. So.
Well, yeah, I'm sure the kids are chomping at the bit, ready to get out there and have a little bit of fun.
Yeah, we've got a few that are so excited.
Definitely, for sure. So, Carol, is there anything else you want to add?
I don't think so. Just, yeah, it's a great sport, and a lot of people don't consider it. I don't think they don't realize that we're here. And so, yeah, definitely just want to get the word out there that we're here. We'll be ready, and yeah, reach out to us. And yeah, we can answer any questions too. Like if you have any questions, feel free to email us at that fortlanesybc@outlook.com, and we can answer any questions. And yeah, it's just a really great program. So
Carol Kaehn, Program Director with the Fort Lanes YBC. Carol, thank you so much and have yourself an awesome summer.
Thank you very much, Justin. Appreciate it. You too.